Go. Finish. 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 Question. When you guys go somewhere, you go alone? I don't. I only go places with my European bodyguards. And yeah, they both have PhDs. Doctor of Sports Science, Doctor of Sports Science. Me, I'm Dr. Mike Israel from Renaissance Periodization. This is Milo. This is Pac. They are sports scientists and researchers, for real researchers, not like me. They are here to do some working out, illustrating the value of partial ranges of motion. What the hell am I saying? Bizarre world, is Tifel Ram dead? Find out more right now.
Well, my PhD is actually on range of motion.
Oh, that's right.
We found that doing partial repetitions in a lengthened position, so in the stretch position, like the very bottom of a row, when your shoulder blades are being pulled all the way forward, that seems to be as good or likely better for hypertrophy than a full range of motion. At the very least, something to try out for hypertrophy. So in this session, we'll be taking you through some lengthened work, different techniques to emphasize that stretch in your session.
Right, because I've seen studies and I've seen smart people like you motherfuckers talk about lengthened bias partials, but I'm always like, how does that really look in real training? Like, can somebody do some fucking sets to show me how that looks? And maybe give me some good tips and techniques, because lengthened bias for the back might look different than for the triceps, than for the chest, than for whatever. So you guys ready to show me some love?
For sure. And people seem to think that it's quite difficult to integrate partials in your training. When in reality, as you'll see now, it's super
Yeah,
simple.
but you're Greek and everything you say sounds smart as fuck, so maybe you're just smarter than everybody.
If you don't have a PhD, you can't do the shit. I'm sorry.
8 figures only. If you're not making 8 figures, just sign out.
Get out of my DMs.
Get out of, in general.
Let's get to work.
Let's do it.
First exercise, prime row. This machine actually allows you to load different ranges. If you put it on the top, it loads that length and that stretch position the most. So what we'll do full range of motion here, but we'll use these loading pins to emphasize that stretch. So if you have a similar machine, you don't have to do partials. You can do a full range of motion and still get the most out of it by simply emphasizing that lengthened position. In this case, typically what I'll do is load maybe 20 to 30% of the weight in the mid-range on the middle pin, and load the rest of the weight in that lengthened position. So you get kind of the opposite effect of a traditional row where it's really hard in a peak contraction, which likely isn't ideal for growth. In this case, you get the opposite, which means more muscle growth.
We're gonna go for literally as many reps as we can. Opa. Until failure.
You guys say Opa too?
Yep.
We say it in Russia. Go, go, go. Yeah, you can finish that rep. Finish up at the top. Oh, now we're talking.
Last one, let's go. All the way.
And that's what true failure looks like.
But was it true failure? Greek failure. So people ask, like, why not all of the top one? The way this machine is designed, it's weird because then it's zero load at the top. So you get to the very top and you're like, you can technically take your fingertips and push the handles back and then catch them again. We want some kind of something in the back there. So that weight really works like a counterweight. But at the top, it's quite easy. And then at the bottom, as you go down, it's weird because you're used to a stretch. But as you go down in this machine with the pins loaded as they are, your stretch is exponential.
Essentially what happens is, because it's so easy at the top, if you really try and explode out of that lengthened position and produce lots of force in that stretch position, it just makes the machine fly,
Yes.
essentially.
And you have to slow down on purpose.
Exactly. So you have to slow down on purpose. And for lengthened work, we really want to spend as much time as possible and as much effort as possible, produce as much force as possible in that lengthened position. So if you don't have any weight in that contracted position, it makes you kind of throttle the contraction. And we don't want that. So we want some resistance still in the mid-range and in the shortened position, but just a heavy emphasis on that lengthened position.
The 3 people that own this machine are like, nice, finally.
Yes, yes. We're all
If
happy.
you were to not be on this machine and you were on a similar chest-supported row, you could literally, and I'll do my set as well, you could literally get a big stretch and stop the movement somewhere here.
Yep.
And that would be plenty.
And we'll have other exercises to illustrate that with later.
two other ways to emphasize that length position. Generally, control the eccentric the most when you reach into that stretch. Pause at the very bottom in that stretch, and then contract forcefully out of it. The second way is, if you're going relatively close to failure, or to failure even, try and end the set when you fail in the lengthened position. So if you can still get reps in the shortened position through a full range of motion, keep going. Maybe do some partials at the end of your set. That's a really good option as well.
Nice.
Go.
Nice.
Yes. Try one more.
Pull, 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 pull. One more.
Oh, good shit. So what Milo was saying is, when you are here and you're squatting, let's say squat, leg press, hack squat, barbell squat, whatever, when you're doing your cadence, it's okay to go quickly from here to here. It's all right. But slow down at roughly the halfway point and milk it out to accentuate the eccentric. So pause, consider pausing, rock it up, finish the rep. Slow. And then if you're doing partials, come up to just where it gets a little easier, slow back down. A lot of people can do the partial. What they don't want to do is right here, you're tired and your quads are pumped and everything sucks. Slow back down is brutal and it blows. And then when you want to do really take it to the limit and fail at the lengthened position, that means if you can only come up to here, you just do squats until you can't move and you fall over and you probably die.
Yeah, and then life's good.
And then
You're not there.
Yeah.
As far as eccentric length goes, if you're doing like a full 4 seconds or so, you're probably more than covered as far as that goes.
Yeah, great point.
Yeah, just for the viewers to be like, okay, how much, how long?
Yes.
It could always be longer. We can move on to dumbbell pullovers.
Dumbbell pull, ooh, brilliant, brilliant. Great exercise choice, let's do that.
We shall do an AMRAP and see who gets most reps. So lately, Milo and I. Anyways, our training has been sort of more auto-regulated because we've been traveling. But a great way for the intensity to be up and for us to actually push ourselves is to just constantly compete on stuff, as we will now. So I propose we go heavier, which I'm not sure about. Milo said that this will be plenty.
I propose we get married.
That's already covered, unfortunately.
Wow.
Same thing again. Don't rush it. Pause at the bottom. Beautiful.
Go. Yes.
That's it. So another way to emphasize that stretch is to pick certain movements over other movements. In this case, if you did a cable pullover, like a cable lat prayer, you would get a great stimulus. You know, it's a full range of motion for the lats, a lot of shoulder extension, but the resistance curve is relatively even. You're still training the shortened position, and that's all well and good if that's your goal. However, with certain movements like the dumbbell pullover, by design, it is already a lengthened partial. Even if you wanted to, if you go past here, there's no more resistance. So you're only training in that stretched, lengthened position. Even more than that, the hardest part of the lift, the place where you have to produce the most tension in your lats, is in that bottom position at long muscle lengths. And then it gets easier and easier linearly until you get to that top position. So both in terms of range of motion and in terms of resistance curve, really solid option for hypertrophy.
And we're doing exclusively partials here. So we're not going to be doing the top end, correct?
Yeah.
You're an inch from touching the ground. You want that extra ROM. Oh yeah, go, 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 go. Yep. Go. Finish. 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 Finish.
Health and safety. Am I right?
He has both. The way to manage failure on this exercise is twofold. You can go to really what is true failure on this in 2 ways. One, if you just can't get it up, you just gently go back to your end ROM and just do this. Your arms are sufficiently clear of your head, no one's standing around you, the weight drops a couple inches, no big deal. The second way to do it is what he did. which is if you realize that at this point with straight arms you are at concentric failure, you bring the weight closer to you just by little, bending your elbows while bringing it up. Not only do you go for sure to failure because you're like, well, I can't do this with straight arms, but you use accommodating leverages in order to do a mini mechanical drop set on that last repetition. So it's both safe and mega effective, and you know you went to failure, so it's like checking all the boxes.
At least a few more. Let's go.
Wait, one more.
Let's go. Go at least one more. Keep your elbows straight.
Slow.
Control. Pause. And explode. Another thing I really like about the dumbbell pullover, as opposed to a cable pullover, is that it's quite stable. And so reaching failure, engaging failure becomes very easy. Personally, with a lat prayer, sometimes it's like, did I just shift my hips a little bit? Did I do something? Here, it's pretty obvious when you fail.
Especially if you're reaching your arms out and your elbows are relatively close to lockout. You know, like for Pac on his last set, you actually had an upward, you had an ascent and then a mini descent, and he bent his elbows and finished that rep. Like there's no way that he could have stayed outstretched, he would have gotten another rep. That's for real failure. That's what we call this failure in training. Really is technical failure. Without good technique continuing, he could not have continued to do it. So it was really, really good.
Shall we move on?
So on this exercise, we'll be doing integrated partials. Integrated partials, fancy term, really just meaning you do a full range of motion rep and you do 1, 2, 3 partials, and then you do another full range of motion rep. And you just continue in the cycle for the whole set. The reason we do this is twofold. One, on certain exercises like the barbell squat, just doing lengthened partials or just the bottom half isn't very safe, because for that last rep, when you're really close to failure, you may try and get a full rep to be able to re-rack it afterwards, but you may fail. And so for those exercises, just doing lengthened partials isn't advised. However, if we just did partials at the end of the set, you'd get maybe 1 to 3 partials. You wouldn't get that many partial reps, and thus the emphasis of the set wouldn't really be on the stretch anymore. It would still just be basically a full range of motion set. By sandwiching in a full range of motion rep, some partials, a full range of motion rep, some partials, what we're able to do is accumulate more lengthened partials and get a greater emphasis on that stretch position.
Let's go, good technique. Elbows to the sky, and then slow.
Keep your chest up the whole time, don't swing.
You got for sure 2 partials. Yep.
Chest up the whole time, let's go. One more partial at least.
Go. Fuck yeah.
That's it.
Woo! Yes.
Awesome.
Oh, you got more. Halfway. Yep. Another one, halfway. Yep. And
Try
then
it.
full ROM. Let's do this, Milo. Up, 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 up. That's it.
One partial for the road. Nice.
Good stuff.
That was good.
That was really good.
Very nice machine. Awesome machine.
Awesome machine.
Yeah.
I like it. It's so smooth.
Very
really
smooth.
nice.
How do they do it? I don't know how.
And
they
it
do
already feels like it's emphasizing that stretch position.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, relative to most machines I've used. Beautiful. Stay upright the whole time. There you go, that's it.
Failure on here is really a defeated looking.
As far as standardization goes, because I see that comment being made by people who, I guess, are new to partials and long muscle length training. As you can see, there was some variation between some reps, but it wasn't anything too crazy. And after you do that for a few times, it's pretty easy to set certain points.
For reference as well, Pac has a little bit less experience with partials than I do, and this is our first time using the machine. At least based on my experience, performance week to week is very stable, which kind of implies that range of motion is similar, unless I'm just fooling myself into hitting the same numbers over and over again. But based on some of the reliability that we have from studies, based on my own experience and clients' experiences, it is reasonably reliable. So just make sure you pay some attention to the range of motion, and you should be in good shape.
Go. Finish.
Nice,
Finish.
nice.
Finish. Yep. And then slow. You got 2 more partials. JK.
I ain't got shit.
Good stuff.
Hit a shoulder pose as well. There we go.
Woo! He big.
All right, curls. Let's do it.
Curls for the girls.
What do you get when PhD sports scientists collaborate with pro bodybuilders? The most effective muscle growth training app ever made. Get yours now.
The free motion machine is what I believe God actually uses to train on. And so typically you would have the curl situation look like this, which is dope. But if you want to try this out, you actually start at the bottom of stretch of a fly. Everything's open. This will stretch the fuck out of your chest. So if you do chest and biceps on the same day, it's kind of helpful. But if you're doing this on a day in which you don't train chest, it's actually nice to stretch out your chest a little bit, a little blood flow. And then what you do is you simply, from full extension, curl. Full extension and curl. And the way the angles work with the machine is here, you get crazy stretch, crazy tension, but as you come through here, it's actually very easy. So it's already a lengthened bias exercise, which is pretty dope.
Do you have a name?
Ooh, it's gonna be called the double dildo curl.
No.
How could it be called anything else?
It's a new thing where people name exercises after themselves. I mean, they've been doing that for years, but like you'll see slight modification in an exercise and it's like the Dr. Pat
Oh yeah,
curl.
this is the Dr. Idiot curl. No, wait. Yeah, that's how I'm known in most places in the world.
So we're about to do some partials on this. Whenever you're talking about emphasizing the stretch, a variety of ways to do it. On the prime row, loading like lengthened position. On the pullover, by design, hardest in lengthened position, and it's already lengthened partial. On the lateral raise, incorporating integrated partials. If you really want to emphasize the lengthened position, especially in exercises where you're not really challenging that lengthened position very well, what you can do to make it more challenging and get more work in that stretch position is to simply just do the partial range of motion in the stretch position. That way, the whole set is spent at those productive muscle lengths, and you get a lot of tension, a lot of stimulus in that stretch position. Let's go.
Finish. Couple more. Slow, big pause. Yep. Yep.
Beautiful. Oh, I got the other one.
Nice. That was a nice exercise, man. Thank you.
That's really good.
Yeah.
2. You got this. 3. Let's go. At least one more.
Go, go, goddammit. Finish. That's it.
Nice. That was awesome.
Beautiful. Deep stretch, pause, and explode. At least one more, let's go. Control, control, control. Full pause, and explode. In an arc, let's go. Last one, let's go. Control, control, control. Pause, and arc out. That's it. Oh,
Yep, you did it right the first time. There you go.
let's go.
Big brain, big brain.
Pac, who is that on your shit? Is that Juggernaut or some shit? Thanos?
Here. So it's Thanos, Dr. Doom, and Bane.
Oh, is this all bald people you look up to?
Yes. Tom Hardy, the CGI guy, and Dr. Doom.
Oh, are you serious?
Whatever.
Fuck, looks like a blowjob.
I mean,
fellas, I'm saying,
no complaining, are
let's
you?
do it. No, not really. Bearded Caucasian men. Dime a dozen, some people say, but I got special ones. And with tattoos. Where the fuck are your tattoos, man?
Sorry, bro. I'm 12.
Holy shit. So anyway, Milo's mom needs to stop giving him growth hormone because he's 12. Holy shit. Pac over here.
I'm 13.
We didn't. Well, the Greek 13.
Average
Really,
Greek,
you need
that 13.
slightly more hair on your face.
Chain smoker and a
Yeah.
truck driver.
Yeah,
on the passport, it says
yeah,
that.
and you get out of my face, fly. The tracksuit shit is very Greek. I like it. You're like on the Olympic team, maybe, sort of.
Yeah.
You're the guy that hangs around with the guy that hangs around with the guy that hangs around with the guy who's on the Olympic team. That's all of Greece, by the way. Also, we didn't train chest. What the hell happened to your shit?
It got pumped from the bicep stretch, whatever we did,
Just
and
existing.
the pullovers.
Boom. Any words of wisdom on this lengthened partial situation? And
I'd say, as we briefly mentioned during the video, ego out the door, rep quality, control the eccentric, make sure that you are getting that deep stretch. And that's it. It's not that complicated. It's the equivalent of train hard with a bit of a sauce on top.
a little bit of spice.
I'd say main things remain volume, intensity, good technique overall. But a bit more range of motion is always welcome. Every little bit counts, every little inch.
Ooh, every little inch counts. Folks, you think about what that means in your spare time. We'll see you next time.
Peace.
Peace.